All right, before I go, I want to say this from the bottom of my heart. I want to thank every single student, every man, women, old, young, white, black, Chinese, from all walk of life. I want to thank you for saying no to genocide, for standing up for people who don't have nobody to stand up for. All the Arab countries abandoned the Palestinian people. Even the Arab populations abandoned the Palestinian people in their moments of need. When you see generational genocide of people and villages and homes, they demolished 12 universities with TNT. They didn't bomb it by accident, on purpose. Why would you destroy all these halls of education? Now, because they destroyed all these universities, God, in His own way, has turned every university into a Gaza campus for the Gazans who lost their places to learn. I want to thank those Jews who came out in Brooklyn. They were arrested, 300 of them. Those who are against Zionism. There's a lot of anti-Zionist Jews who believe that Zionism is using Judaism and Jewishness as a tool to demonize and to kill the Palestinian, because they know what the Zionists is doing is actually hurting the Jews and Judaism and turning Jews and Judaism into a bad spotlight. And we all know that that is the objective of Zionism. Zionism wants to make the Jews look as bad as they can abroad, like in America and Europe, so they will leave and go to live in Israel. A lot of Jews don't want to go there. A lot of them have conscience. A lot of them have went there and came back. They said, "No, this is a lie." I mean, we have these people, we have our fucking boots on their necks, and it's not going to last. I am so sure as I am right now in front of you. I just want to be alive for it when that state will collapse. When the Zionist regime will collapse within itself and everyone will be put on trial, then Jews and Palestinians who live in Palestine could hopefully create their own state with democratic values. That should have been like that from day one. If these European Jews had any peaceful means, they would have lived with the Palestinians and created a state for everybody. There's enough land, there was enough people. There was a lot of unity between the Jews. I mean, Jews. Let me give you some example. A lot of refugees that came from Europe from the Holocaust lived in Palestinian homes. Palestinians opened their houses and let them live in, like, if they had an extra floor, they would let them live. And the worst thing that happened is you could have asked a lot of Palestinians who were still alive. The same Jews who came from Europe, who lived in their houses, turned against them and kicked them out and took those houses. Unbelievable to show kindness. So if Zionism was not a thing, if there was just people who want to live and get away from hatred from Europe, it's okay. Jews lived in Yemen. We had no, you had your problems here and there like any other people. But it's okay. You could live with Arabs. I mean, Jews. We never had an issue with Jews. I know. I mean, I spoke to my father. My father, before he died, I said, Dad. I mean, when you were young, how did you deal with how is the relationship between the Jews of Yemen in your town? Now, I'm talking about deep, deep inside Yemen. He said, son. I mean, there was no issues. I mean, the only thing is they used to live in their own quarter. That's they did not assimilate. They did not live with the same houses that they will have a town. One side is the Jewish quarter and the other side is the Islamic quarter. They'll have the Jewish cemetery and there's a Muslim cemetery, and there's nothing wrong with that. They had no issue with that, and they did own property. But most of the Jews, he told me, son, they were mostly merchant. What he meant by merchant, I mean, we don't have no merchandise in Yemen, but he said when harvest comes and we are collecting all the harvest, us the Arabs, the Jews will come into our towns with their donkeys or the camels, and they would give us matches or threading needles or thread, things we could use. I mean, things, hammers, fucking things to use on the farm, like equipment, and we would trade it or barter it with wheat, corn, whatever, all the stuff that we have extra, and they were bartering with each other, and they had a friendly life. A matter of fact, in my town, in my village, the cemetery is still there. The Jewish cemetery is still there, untouched, undesecrated, unbothered, anything. You understand? So Zionism was evil from day one. Zionism was evil from day one, man. They talk about it. They spoke about it. They wrote about it while they were still in Europe. That they will eventually have to kick the native population. They created the theory of the Iron Wall by a fucking Polish, whatever the fuck he is, who wrote this book on how to treat the natives in Palestine. He said you must use absolute force on them so they will get scared and give away their houses and homes and fled their towns, and we could take them over. They never said, "Well, we're going to move to Palestine and live and create this state with with the natives. We have the same right. You know, they have labor, and we have the brain, we have the economic means, and they could have created a beautiful nation. You call it whatever you want to call it. You could call it Israelistan, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, it's time for prayer, man. I love you all. I love you. Thank you. Whoever's watching, I see 38 people. I don't even know if they're still here or not, but I appreciate you all, and I really, really, I'm thankful for that. And I thank God that I'm alive. I was in the hospital that day, and I feel great. And I haven't felt better than this today to talk about what I want to talk about. Anyway, free, free Palestine from the to the sea. Can't say the word, man. All right. I'll see you next time. Thank you. God bless you all.